So Jim Rohn said, excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. Wow, that's a tough one, right? So this kind of came up from a conversation I was having with a friend of mine who's a business coach. And she was lamenting that some of her clients who had hired her are putting parameters around their success. Things like, well, I'm only going to try to get to a $250,000 consulting business because that's what the norm is in our industry. Or I'm at blank amount. I'm happy here. Her point is, well, if you're happy there, then why am I on board? Why did you hire me? Right. And, little things like that. And I hear that a lot of times with personal finance too, that we put ourselves in boxes because it shields ourselves. Things that I hear are, I can only save $250 a month. Now, let me put it out there. I am big on saving. That is one of the things you have control over. You don't have control over the markets. You don't have control over inflation or interest rates, as we've seen. There's a lot of things that happen around us that we can't control, but you can control how much you save every month. So 250 is a good starting place for sure. But is that all you can do for the rest of your life? Let's say you're 45 years old. For the next 20 years, you're only going to challenge yourself to 250 a month. What if at 50, you could maybe push it to $500 a month? What if every couple of months you actually looked at your saving and going, can I challenge myself to save $5 more, $10 more? Let's start making little strides forward rather than making excuses and putting a barrier up of what we can do. We can do anything if we put our minds to it. I have this theory that I say to myself all the time. I do a lot of exercise now. I love working out. It helps with stress. It helps with flexibility. I sit at a desk all day, so I like having that movement in my body. But for years, I didn't exercise, and I gained a lot of weight during that. It was during the time I was building my business, gained a ton of weight. And my excuse was, oh, I'm always so tired. I work so many hours, all that kind of stuff. And it was all true. It wasn't a lie. I wasn't not working long hours. I wasn't tired when I got home. Of course I was, but I didn't want to. I wasn't prioritizing myself. Okay. During that time, I was very focused on building a business and I went on the back burner. Well, that hurt me a lot. I gained a lot of weight during that time. Now I'm in the process of trying to get healthy again, lose that weight, all of that. And all of this could have been avoided if I didn't make that excuse. If I said, look at Lisa, you can do 10 minutes of exercise. You can do it. And if I had just kind of kept that in the back of my head and said, you could do some exercise, you could choose to not have to go out to eat instead of maybe going out for a cup of coffee. We don't have to go to a meal. I don't have to eat something at the happy hour I was invited to. I don't have to do this. Nobody's making me do that. And honestly, I wish I had this perspective back then. Nobody cared if I ate the appetizer or I wasn't eating the appetizers at the happy hour. Nobody would have noticed probably. So essentially, that's that idea is we think everybody's noticing what we're doing when really they're just focused on, are you noticing what I'm doing? Right? We're all kind of center focused on ourselves, which is okay. But long story short, what's an excuse you're making in your financial life that maybe we can bust through? We're almost at the end of the first quarter of 2023. Maybe we haven't made strides on those goals that we put in place. Maybe we have. And what are some limiting beliefs you have that are stopping you from having a really strong financial foundation and the house of your dreams rather than a house of failure? So give us a call if we can help in any way, get you back on track and stop those limiting beliefs from getting to your goals and living a life that you love, because that's the whole goal of everything. One Vision Retirement, your retirement in 2020 vision.